In 2012, if I'm correct, you were featured on Miss Krazie's album.
I was.
Okay, Forgive, Not Forget. Okay. How did you meet her? Can you share with us?
Well, Miss Krazie at that time was the female doing it. Okay. I'm talking about Jimmy and the crew. They knew how to market. They knew how to, they had those reaches, and she till this day still breaks records that a lot of us haven't yet. So she was like the it girl. And I remember I would hit her up all the time, and I would just love watching her hustle. Just like I enjoy watching all the girls hustle. I've always been all about women empowerment. That's been a thing for me since the beginning, because if we are not kind to each other, who's going to be kind to us?
Definitely not the men.
Exactly. So, it's always been, like that. And so at that time, she reached out to me. She saw what I was doing. At that time, we had a group called the Chicano movement. And it was me and 5 other females, I think. But we weren't a group. It was like we all just featured on each other's tracks and, again, mixtapes and all that stuff. So we did that for a while. And again, I got tired. But that's another story. But she reached out to us. And at that time, it was just me and Miss Lovely that were active. The other girls were kind of just, doing whatever their own thing, Okay. And so she reached out to both of us. She asked me come through to Montebello to D. Salas' studio, and I want to see what you got. And I said, okay. I said, I'm scared as shit, but okay, let's do it.
Why were you scared?
I was scared because this was another, I think, level that I got into my career. I feel like Wicked Babydoll had her buzz going, but I feel like as soon as I jumped on her record, that's when it really took off, and I was nervous. I was dealing with a professional studio, was dealing with somebody that was playing the guitar in my face, building this beat. Like, this was a new experience. It was, something that I always remember. So as I'm sitting there writing, because she didn't send the beat like most of us, she said, come through, we're building this beat. I want you to sit here and listen and see what you could come up with. And
is this the first time you actually meet her in person?
Yes. So that was also a little bit intimidating, because as females, and I'm going to say this for everybody, I don't care what girls say, we are all kind of territorial, and we're all kind of not on the same vibe all the time. So we can't, step on toes or, come a little too strong, or, you gotta know how to handle the situation, right? With females, especially if you're trying to get along with them. Yeah. So you gotta just fill out the vibe and see how that goes. And that's exactly how I took that situation, just filling her out, seeing where she was about, and I met a lot of assholes. I've met people that I thought were dope as fuck and thought they were humble and just, that type of person, and they're just not, So that was my fear with her, that, she was maybe going to be stuck up, or maybe, it just wasn't going to go well. And because my personality's so fucking strong, like, I just come off like an asshole. Like, people just think I'm this bitch, right? So that's why I'm like, so, but yeah, that was definitely, I was nervous at that time.
Okay, so you guys get there, they're building the beat. Yeah. And what was your impression of her?
She was I was surprised because she was so humble. She was so down to earth. Like, when I got there, it was no, I'm Miss Krazie and you're just some rapper I just met. There was no, I'm this and that and you're lesser than, or, feeling that you usually get with other people. I don't think she ever gave me that vibe at all. The whole entire time she took us under her wing, and it was like, it was dope. Nobody was going to do that at that time. Right. Let me tell you. Nobody was going to sit there and try to, kick some knowledge to you and let you know, like, yo, this is how it goes, and you shouldn't do this. And you probably shouldn't work with this person, or be mindful of who you're dealing with, stuff like that. So I was very appreciative of her.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I want to say this, and I think people that know me know where I'm coming from. That's the way I've always been. I don't want to I don't like to use the word take people under my wing. I like to say that if I don't help you myself, I can at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
What to do, what not to do. Because I've told people, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to paint a bad picture about that person, but most people that fuck with that person, nothing ever comes out of them. So I would probably not, come over here. He's got his own studio. This guy, you can build with him or whatnot. I know you probably like this person, but it's not a good move. It's up to you ultimately. I never tell anybody what to do. I just give them advice, and then from there, use wisdom and apply it, and you do you, But that's what I like to do, especially with this platform. I want to create an avenue for Latinos in general to for the door to be open and for their voice to be heard, And you'll be surprised. I mean, if I were to get like 100 comments in a day, I would say maybe like 5 of them will be negative. And even though a lot of people like to focus on the negative, the positive is much more overwhelming.
It always is.
Much more. But you'll have that one motherfucker,
that makes you react.
Well, it makes me want to kill his ass, but I just like, you know what? I'm gonna not reply, or just tell him
that's me all day. I don't reply. I don't respond. There's no point.
But you know what? Sometimes you just kind of want to. I Googled one time, how do you stalk somebody through the internet? But it had no answers. Maybe an emoji. But now, but I'm glad she did it. And if she's watching, I do want to say that years ago on MySpace, we actually were messaging each other because I wanted to do something, and I was wishing her the best. And I think she was telling me she was pregnant at the time. I'm not sure. But I wanted to do something with her because I didn't start working with Chicano rappers till like I'm going to say like 96 on up. That's when I started working with a lot of Chicanos. I get a lot of people that tell me, where were you when Chicano rap was at its prime? Where were you? I like to answer like this. Well, when do you think Chicano rap was in its prime? Okay? Because I started from the very beginning. And by you asking that question, are you pretty much saying that Chicano rap is, past its prime? So it's kind of a dumb question.
Yeah, that is.
So, but I work, I can name them all, from Little Rob to Slow Pain to AOT I did a lot of tracks for a lot of people, but I've never been one que era bien presumido. I did this. I'll just let my,
eventually it'll flow through years.
My Wikipedia now, who my boy John set up, I just text him that. Who in the fuck are you? And I just text it to him. So, anyways, other than that, so, was that a one-day thing that you worked with her, or?
It was, it was, I think we were there for a good 10 hours.
Okay, and you dropped your verse there. Okay.
That day.
And is that still available today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously 2012 was on her album.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was a long time ago.
Did you do any shows with her?
I did. That was the first show I had in El Paso.
Dope. Now, how did you feel that you're flying out? Were you excited about that?
That was definitely a diva moment. But it was not the first time that I had flown out.
Okay, explain a diva moment since I'm a male. What's a diva moment?
A diva moment was like, I had to pat myself at the back and give myself, credit for that accomplishment.
Hell yeah.
The first time I flew out was in Chicago. Okay. I went to Chicago, and this was just on a mixtape release. And I did a meet and greet. And, yeah.
How was the response on that?
Oh, I got love in Chi-Town. I
really?
did. Chicago, showed love like no other.
Okay, now I'm going to say this. And I'm glad you're sharing this because I know a bunch of dudes, and if they're hating, it's bullshit. Because I know a bunch of rappers that they're really big on social media. And one thing a lot of these guys don't know, whenever they say they're going to go there, sometimes I'll show up low key and I'll be at a corner. And these guys, let's just say they got over 100,000 followers, okay? I swear to you, they may get 50 people. And I'm thinking to myself, look, dude, you look like you're freaking Will Smith on social media, okay? But you can't even get 100 people of your own followers to show up to go support you, And these are the same guys that reach out to me for an interview. I give them dates. I never hear back from them ever again. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. A lo mejor se les fue la cabeza. Maybe they allow social media to get to them. But
something going on.
For you to say you went to Chi-Town and you get love, that's dope, man.
Yeah, it was love. It was love. Even though it was a mixtape, we were slaying them, and I sold out of everything I printed, and that was an accomplishment. You know, that was an accomplishment. I was not performing at the time. This was just two dudes trying to sign me at the time. And I met so many people on that trip. I was up in the middle of Chicago.
Okay.
In a studio with a bachata singer.
Okay.
Now,
I need to ask you this because I do believe that we're going to cover this in the documentary, and I believe it's an important question. You being a Latina, have you ever been offered a major record deal by a major label?